Superstars, how's it going? This is Coach Wood, and we are back locked and loaded, you guys, for another great episode of content. We've got something special for you guys today, a little contrarian thinking. Hopefully, all is well with you and your family. Hopefully, you already have your mind set on getting after it today because that's what this is all about. If you're joining us for the very first time, welcome. This is the Before You Go Pro channel. I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood. Absolute pleasure to be with you today. Please make sure that you continue to stop back by the channel. This is a labor of love for me. We talk football on a daily basis, you guys. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here in the huddle, talking about the things that pertain to the football players, the parents, guardians of the football players, the coaches and fans out there. So excited to get into today's content. Just a little housekeeping if you haven't already. Please hit that subscribe button and please look at the resources that we have down in the description box as well. Our community is growing. We're very close to 1,000 subscribers, which is a huge feat. I think we're around 100 or so people away from it. Huge, you guys. So if you could help us out with that, make sure that you share the content. Make sure that you encourage people to subscribe to the channel. That would be huge. No excuse for a football player or a parent of a football player, especially at the high school or junior college level, to not be tapped in to the Before You Go Pro channel. So, you guys, this is the Weekday Huddle, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's get into it. Let's not hesitate. Like I said, a little bit of a contrarian thinking to today's episode. What if I was to tell you that the majority of the guys who you see playing on Sundays, now I know they play different days in the NFL, they play Mondays, they play Thursdays, but the main day is Sunday. It's reserved for the NFL, we know that, and the Lord, of course. But what if I told you the guys that have made it to the NFL just got lucky? They just got lucky. Now, many of you guys will say, hold on, Coach Wood, no doubt those guys are talented. No doubt they deserve to be there. No doubt those guys are ballers. And I would say that you're right. But I would also tell you that they got more lucky than you think. As a football player, when you get to a certain level of football, you guys, the talent gap minimizes. So you may be a superstar at your local high school. You may be a superstar in your region, in your state. But now as you get to higher levels of football, you're at this Power 4 university. You're at an FBS Group of 5 school. You're at an FCS or D2 high-level school. The talent gap, you guys, minimizes. And when the talent gap minimizes, other things come into play and become bigger than maybe they were when you were a younger athlete. Who gets into the meeting room first and leaves last becomes bigger. Who stays out on the football field and works a little bit after practice becomes bigger. Who has the relationship with the coach where the coach feels comfortable with that kid, it feels bigger. Who can maybe contribute a little bit better on special teams. That could be the difference in you getting the 53-man roster spot in the NFL and you not getting the 53-man roster spot. As you get to the higher ranks, you guys, of football, the talent gap gets smaller, which means that even things like politics can affect things in a big way. It can affect things in a big way. Who your teammates are. You could be a defensive back with a terrible defensive line and linebacker crew. You could be a quarterback with subpar receivers and not much great blocking up front, which is obviously going to affect production for most athletes. And let's not really get into the politics of things. There's so many ways that politics can affect a young athlete trying to climb the ladder of football success. We know we're in the day, in the age of NIL. Well, what if you're working your tail off at North Carolina, Texas Tech, and then all of a sudden they bring in somebody through the portal and they're paying them more than you? Politics. So when I say that the guys that you see in the NFL, the guys that you see making money at the highest level are lucky, it's not that they didn't deserve it. What it means is that they found a way, they found an angle, they found a strategy. Sometimes it was delayed, like a Baker Mayfield who had to walk on at Texas Tech, then go to Oklahoma, and then he blows up. You guys, so his track was delayed, his superstardom was delayed. He had to find a way. So what I mean by this, you guys, is as you young athletes climb the ladder to higher levels of football, you guys will quickly find out that a lot of the talent is the same. There's somebody at every position that can do what the other person can do for the most part. So then it gets to the point on who gets the shot. Who does coach want to plug in? Who can stay healthy? Who can stay consistent? The little things get bigger. Very few, and this is the whole premise of the initial statement, that the guys that you see in the NFL are just lucky. It doesn't mean that they're the best of the best. As a matter of fact, you could probably talk to every single guy in the NFL and they can tell you somebody that they know that was just as good or better than them that is not in the NFL. But for whatever reason, they were able to squeeze through. They were able to make it. They were able to find the back door and stay in. We all know how many guys get in and don't last long. I think the average is 2.5 years now. So why did Coach Wood say that these guys are lucky? They totally deserve it. They totally have worked for it. They are totally very good football players. But in my opinion, and in the opinion of many others, you guys, only about 2 to 3%. Only about 2 to 3% of the guys you see playing in the NFL are just legit, hands down, they were better than everybody else. Only about 2 to 3%. Your Myles Garrett's of the world, hands down, just better than everybody else. Your Derek Stingley's of the world. He's been the bomb since he was at LSU. Before that, All-American, gets to the NFL, seamless plug and play player. So there are special gems that wherever they go, they are just better and more elite than everybody else. But it's only about 2 to 3%, you guys. It's only about 2 to 3%. The Cooper Kupps of the world, the Brock Purdy's of the world, these are guys who had to find a way. You put them in the wrong situation at the wrong university, you never find out who they are. If Baker Mayfield didn't have the gusto, the confidence in himself, and the grit, you would have never knew who Baker Mayfield was. And that is what the league is made up of. Obviously, these guys are phenomenal players. But do you know how many phenomenal players there are out there? Do you know how many players that were probably just as good or better than most of the guys you see play on Sunday? There are very few freaks like Randy Moss, which no matter the decade, no matter the coach, no matter the quarterback, we're putting him on the field. Very few players like that, you guys, that are just hands down elite over everybody else. Once you get to college, talent gap minimizes. So you have to find a way. I played at the University of Colorado. When I played there, we were a very good team. We won the Big 12 championship my senior year. A bunch of guys that I played with went off to the NFL. first round draft picks, second round draft picks, free agents, guys that I lined up against every single day or played alongside in games every single practice and games. So you get a good feel when you've been around people for a long time what they can do and what they can't do. And there were many guys who got very substantial NFL careers where I wouldn't say they were definitely great players, but I could name another player that was just as great. I can name another player that was just as good. And when you think, oh wow, this person played that many years in the league, you sometimes you think about the guy who did it, and you're like, man, I would have thought it would have been him, but it was him. He found the way. He found the door. He found the window. He came through the back. He was the one that balanced out the politics. He was the one that was ready and healthy when his number was called. He was consistent. So luck will come into play a lot more than you guys think along this football journey. But what is luck? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. But it's even deeper than that. There's some universal and godly and miracle stuff that also falls into luck. You know, why was Sam Darnold able to stay afloat to get to the Super Bowl? Was it luck? Or is he just that good? Is he just better than every quarterback that he's been in a room with? We know that's not the case, you guys. So I say all that to say, get ready, because there's going to be things that happen along this journey that you can't control that do affect production, that do affect opportunities, etc. So you guys have to stay even keeled in this industry, because there's going to be highs and lows, you guys. Why did Joe Burrow not play at Ohio State, but then he became the Heisman Trophy winner at LSU, and he is considered by many scouts, top professionals, GMs, people that really pay attention to NFL quarterbacks? He's considered elite. He's considered cream of the crop, but he couldn't get on the field at Ohio State. So you need to find a way to stay afloat. You need to find a way to get out of the fray. You need to find a way to get your opportunity so that you can develop into a superstar. Now, some of these people separate once they get to the NFL. They become elite once they get to the NFL. But you need to have some luck. So you guys keep that in mind, because a lot of times we say, well, why didn't you get to the NFL? You must not have been that good. What if Joe Burrow stayed at Ohio State and say, you know what? I like this university. I'm from Ohio. I believe he is from Ohio. And you know what? I'm going to stay here and fight it out. Would you have ever known of Joe Burrow? Would he have ever been a first round draft pick? So think about it, you guys, because like I said, we sit back on Sundays and we think, hey, we're watching the best of the best. You are at that given moment. You're watching the best of the best. But like I said, all of those guys on that field can tell you somebody that's not on that field for whatever reason. And it's a lot more than injuries, you guys. You got to have some luck in this game. Do not think that doesn't come into play. I've seen guys get opportunities. Maybe they're on the practice squad a couple of weeks and they're doing great, and the team is ready to put them on the active list and get them into a game. And all of a sudden, the game before, couple linemen go down. They've got to bring in some linemen backups and put them on the practice squad. And now they're cutting you, and you did nothing wrong. You didn't get lucky. But hopefully you can keep afloat. Hopefully you can stay mentally strong. Hopefully you can continue to wait by the phone, and then you get your shot. And then everybody says, hey, he's the best of the best. You know, you're one of the guys that gets to suit up on Sundays, baby. So a little bit of a contrarian thing, but hey, you guys, I'll stick to it. Only 2 to 3% of the guys that you're watching on Sundays, the guys that are on active NFL rosters today, are just that elite where every team would want them, at least somewhere on their roster, and where every coach in the league, you go down through the eras of football, would have been able to make a team. Very few, 2 to 3%. Your Christian McCaffreys, your Trent Williams, some of the guys, maybe a Jalen Ramsey or something. Those are the only, in his prime, but not now, but in his prime, guys that are going to make the team. You just know they're going to make the team. Everybody else is fighting. Everybody else will have to fight. Everybody else better be in their playbook. Everybody else is getting a little nervous when the Turk comes and knocks on the door. Only 2 to 3% can kick back and say, there's no way in the world that they're not keeping me. All right, so keep that in mind. Very, very interesting things to think about. You got to have a little luck when you're talking about the football entertainment business. And it's no different. This is very competitive. If this was the music industry, if this was movies, I guarantee you some of the top actors and top musicians can name people that you have no idea about, that they'll say, man, that person should be here with me, or that person was better than me. So keep that in mind, baby. I hope you guys have immense luck. Please, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. And please also check those resources down in the description box. I'm Coach Wood. We'll be back tomorrow, baby. Have a great day.